But like I said, Baby Keem recently sat down with Elsie and they got into a pretty interesting conversation about Spotify's list of artists fans believe could lead to the next generation of hip hop. Now, we've spoken about that Spotify list on the channel. Some billboards had went up, and um, at first they were making us guess who the leaders of the new school is, and then a bunch of billboards went up. I think there was billboards for Big X the Plug. There was a billboard for Glorilla, for Sexy Red. What is the dude from the UK? I forgot his name. He's very fair skinned. But he's from the UK. He be with Drake. I don't remember his name. But him, he had a billboard. Um and the top three names on the list ended up being Baby Keem, Doechii, and Lil Tecca. They were voted on by the voters. And Keem came out being number one. And naturally, the question came up like, does Keem even want to be viewed as one of the leaders of the next generation? So let's just play the clip real quick. And let's hear what he had to say. Hold on, where's the clip? Here it is.
One question I was going to ask you is that Spotify put out this current state of rap, leaders of the new gen thing a couple of months ago, and you were on there. And, you know, that list was polarizing. I don't think because of you. I think just because of just everything around it. But I was going to ask you, do you want to be that figurehead? Like a leader of the new generation, like big three of the new generation? Is that something that you want to be?
No. I think it's like a cop-out. I think people should just stop saying that like music is, reframe that. I'm gonna say no still, but no, because it's you're putting like boundaries on it. That's like saying like I want to be like one of the greatest of all time.
So
yeah, like the new generation thing. Like I think I'm better than members of the current. Like you know, like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's
you gotta think that way about yourself in your art.
Yeah, I mean like you're not telling me. I don't view it that way. I never did view it like that. Like I never viewed it like yes, there's age and there's a new generation, like for sure, but like should we be competing?
We're all on the same plane.
The best of like the weakest. I don't want to be the best of like the weakest. I want to be the best of the best. Like, yeah, you know. So, and that should be the mentality of everybody coming up. Whoever else is on that list, like, should have that same mentality. I feel like, but like for me, like, yeah, I think you have your peers for sure. Yeah. And but that's like perspective, because it could be people on that list. I don't really consider anyone on that list like my peers. You know. So it's all like that's my perspective, right? So like, yeah, I think that I don't want to be the face of that concept. Yeah, because I want to be one of the greatest artists I can be. And so
no boxes.
Yeah, no boxes. I can go. I'll say this too, like to even kind of hone it in for the people that kind of don't understand like what I'm trying to say. I didn't necessarily think that I could win a Grammy until I got signed. But I didn't think I could get signed until people started liking my music. Like, so my ambition grew, you know what I'm saying? As like, and so I didn't want a Grammy until I thought it was possible, right? And so I truly think it's possible for me to be like one of the greatest artists. So I'm like,
I like that.
So it's like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like
yeah.
I like
that. So that was the interview with Baby Keem and Elsie. So shout out to her for the interview. So let's talk about it, because essentially he said like he believes that it's a cop-out, right? He also said something to the extent that the people that they have him on the list with, he does not consider them his peers. And now, after hearing his answers, I actually understand where he's coming from, because again, in the clip, Keem is basically saying that being labeled one of the leaders of a generation or being part of some new quote unquote big three is kind of like a cop-out. And his argument is that labels like that create limitations, and he doesn't want to put himself in a box. And I feel like maybe in the beginning, but nobody really gets into music dreaming about being one of the greatest. Maybe when you're first starting off trying to find your footing, okay, sure. But once you're fully invested, the goal should become to be the greatest, period, at the end of the day. Not one of the greatest. And I respect that mind state. I respect that mindset because he even went further and said that right now he believes he's better than members of the current big three. And he acknowledged that age, longevity and accomplishments matter when talking about generations. But his point was very simple to me. He's not trying to be better than the weakest person in the room. He's trying to be better than the best person in the room. And it's so funny that Baby Keem understands this, but people who are considered a part of the big three or who are seasoned and who has more experience doesn't understand that, it seems like. So I just find that to be so interesting. And if you've been listening to Baby Keem, this isn't exactly new, him having this mindset, because on the title track on Casino, he says, what did he say on that song? Like, he said something like he kicking that same old story, reliving that same old glory. He lucky he came before me, something like that. And now I don't know exactly who that's directed at, but y'all can connect the dots however y'all want. Because even on Family Ties, he famously did refer to Drake as number two. And at the time, some people weren't sure who he was referring to, but if you were tapped in, you knew exactly what he was talking about and who he was talking about. And the confidence has always been there for Baby Keem. It's always been there. And Keem has never carried himself like somebody looking for any type of participation trophy, because Kendrick didn't allow him to get participation trophies. Baby Keem had to put in work, whether you want to believe it or not. He is not a Nepo baby. Like, he's not or a Nepo cousin. We've seen the documentary. We heard Kendrick. We didn't even know they were cousins in the beginning. And that's because they did not want him to get favoritism because of his associations to Kendrick. Kendrick made him deliver, essentially. He had to get beats. He had to be able to make songs. He had to come up with raps on his own. He had to build his own fan base. He had to get it out the mud. Maybe he had it a little better than most, but he still had to put in the work. Nothing was just handed to him. And as far as like the Spotify list goes, I actually understand why he doesn't want to be grouped together with the people that's on the list. Again, they had Big X the Plug on the list. They had Lil Tecca is on the list. Doechii is on the list. Doechii and Lil Tecca came in second and third after Baby Keem on the list. And I don't feel like that's any disrespect towards them or whoever else was on the list, because I feel like Doechii is phenomenal. Like, Doechii can rap her ass off. She can sing her ass off. She can dance. She's a great performer. Doechii is one of the most complete artists in music right now. Lil Tecca has built I guess a nice successful career, and he clearly has a dedicated audience, even though I personally haven't followed his catalog closely. I don't know too much about him to be able to speak on it. But if I'm ranking the list today based on what I've seen, I'd probably go Baby Keem, Doechii, and then Lil Tecca, the exact order the top three came in. And I give Baby Keem the edge over Doechii because he's had a little bit more time to build his resume. Like, we've seen Doechii's breakout run was largely powered by her mixtape, a Grammy-winning mixtape. At that, be very clear. But Keem has been building towards this moment for years. And even with that being said, Baby Keem, you also need to be clear, because Doechii is right there, honey. Doechii is right there. We're just waiting on that debut album. Because if it has something to do with a performance, Doechii is outperforming you. Clearly, no debating. So good luck with that aspect. But if I had to rank them, the ranking is actually right. Baby Keem, Doechii, and then Lil Tecca. I don't even know if I can put Lil Tecca third, because, again, I don't really know his music. I'm not familiar with his game. So I don't know. But when it comes to the whole big three conversation in general, I never really loved it. Y'all heard me on this channel several times. I say we've been being gaslit this entire time about this big three shit. I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I will consistently and repeatedly say that this big three shit is nothing but gaslight. I feel like this shit was used as a way to make people who were not included feel included. So I agree with Keem about things being a cop out. As talented as J. Cole is, I've personally never viewed him on the same level as Kendrick Lamar. I've also didn't put him on the same level as Drake, even though I believe J. Cole raps better than Drake. He's way more talented when it comes to rapping ability alone. Plus, he writes. I'm assuming he writes his own music, but even with that, I still had Drake ranked above J. Cole, even with all who we know, because whether we want to agree with it or not, Drake does have cultural impact to a certain extent. Again, yes, Cole can rap with anybody. He can rap with the best of them. But when I think about superstardom, when I think about influence, when I think about big moments and the ability to move the entire culture, I've always looked at Kendrick and Drake differently in comparison to J. Cole. And that's no shade. That's not even me trying to kick J. Cole back in. Y'all know I love to kick Jermaine back in. I'm not even trying to kick his back in. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Cole has always felt like a people's champion to me, the everyman rapper. And that's exactly why his fans love him. And I love that for them. And I love that for his Honda Civic. But for me, the big three conversation has always felt forced. And I felt like J. Cole made that shit up because he wants to stay connected in conversations when it comes to Kendrick and Drake, because those are the two guys that he came up with. Just my opinion, though. Just my opinion at the end of the day. And what I found more interesting is the mentality Keem displayed in the interview. The ambition is just oozing out of him. He has that look in his eyes when he's saying it. Like, he doesn't seem timid when he's saying, I think I'm better than most members in the big three. Like, I can tell he actually believes that shit. I think he 100% believe that. He has that look in his eye that all of the great ones have. And it probably doesn't hurt that he's surrounded by a killer like Kendrick Lamar. And Dave Free as well. We cannot leave Dave Free out of this picture because Dave Free is the architect. We cannot leave him out of this picture. Dave Free was the one who was setting up battles for Kendrick Lamar to do. There's literally video of Kendrick Lamar talking about how Dave Free would make him battle random people on street corners. Dave Free was the one telling Kendrick he was the greatest, pushing him into these battles, constantly feeding his competitive spirit. I would not be shocked if Kendrick is doing the exact same thing to Baby Keem. He's getting the exact same treatment. You are the greatest. You are going to be the flag bearer of this PG Lane shit. And that's the right thing to do. Because people act like they forget. When Kendrick jumped off the porch and Kendrick got into this game, he wasn't asking for permission. So why the fuck would you think Baby Keem would be asking for permission? Or that Monster freestyle, he basically told everybody he was better than their favorite rapper, including his own favorite rapper. He told people to retire. He told people to swallow their pride and move out the fucking way. You know? On Control, he called out all of his peers and said his goal was to take y'all's fans. That is how legends are made. Whether people liked it or not, Kendrick believed he was the best long before the rest of the world did. And us watching Baby Keem in this interview right now, 10, 15 years from now, we're going to come back to this video and remember where we were when Baby Keem got on this platform and said, I am better than my peers. I am better than the current big three. And that's why I don't have a problem with Keem saying he thinks he's the best. I would actually be worried I would be worried if he said he wasn't. That would concern me. This is a guy, we have to also remember, this is a guy with credits alongside Beyonce. This is a guy with credits alongside Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, and even Drake at one point wanted to work with Baby Keem. These quote unquote great artists are not calling Baby Keem's phone for no reason. They're calling his phone for a fucking reason. When Kendrick Lamar got on Twitter and said Baby Keem was a genius, he said that shit because he believes it. At the end of the day, Baby Keem is a rapper. He's also a singer. He was singing all over that damn Casino album. He's a producer. He's a songwriter. He's an artist in the fullest sense of the word. He is very talented. And right now, he's on a successful tour. He's headlining festivals. And he's continuing to build a catalog that people are paying attention to. So if we're asking who could lead the next generation, I understand why people would pick Baby Keem. But more importantly, I understand why Baby Keem doesn't want the title, because in his mind, he's not competing to be one of the next leaders. He's competing to be the fucking leader. Not one of. Let's be clear. He is competing to be the leader. And whether you agree with him or not, that's exactly the type of mentality you'd expect from somebody who eventually wants to become great. We cannot spend years saying we want the new generation to step up and then get uncomfortable when somebody actually steps to the front of the fucking line. It doesn't make sense. Baby Keem believes he's next. Now we just gotta wait to see him prove it. Period. It's literally that simple. It's literally that simple. You know what was cracking me up, y'all? What was cracking me up? When I was looking for the picture of the next generation shit, what was cracking me up is the comments. Because hold on, let me fix this real quick. What was cracking me up is the comments, because the first comment was like, Jid. I want y'all to let it go with Jid. I really want y'all to let this shit go. Like, seriously, y'all have to let it go. Jid is not a part of the next fucking generation. How many times do I gotta say that shit? How many times? Jid is a part of a generation from a decade ago. Jid got signed in 2016 and 2017. If he still has not become a part of any generation, he will never become a part of any generation. Let it go. Let it go. Jid is 35 with a 401k and like 15 kids. Let it go. His time to be next was in 2018 up to at least 2023. It's 2026 now. If it hasn't happened, it's never gonna fucking happen, bro. Especially not being connected to fucking Dreamville. He needs to leave Dreamville.